All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We're back tonight. We're playing more Otherscape tonight, and we don't have Maitre. And so, as is tradition that we have established last week, we have to talk shit about Maitre since she's not here. So I'm going to tee it up. Jeremy, you got something? It was, you were definitely an advocate for this practice. Yeah. So,
I'm a traditionalist. I like to keep it grounded, so I like to stick with the facts. Now, Joe, we established that you throw babies at puppies. Maitre, though, she likes to turn around. She throws puppies at babies. It's crazy.
Sometimes we team up and...
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Then no one's safe.
Strangest high five midair.
Yeah.
Yep.
As I said last week,
one throws a baby, one throws a puppy. They meet midair.
Yeah, exactly.
Genius.
Did you all know that Maitre is actually naturally blonde? And that the only reason her hair gets dark is because she rubs shit all over it. That's it. That's just gonna be.
I've seen the video. I don't know why she posted it. She tried to take it down, but we all saw it.
Maitre plays games on YouTube. Go and see it. It's in the background.
Go for the shit in the hair. Stay for interesting talks about role playing.
Every joke is going to be me saying when you rub shit on a part of yourself. That's basically it.
That's fair.
Okay, Maitre, or not Maitre. Melissa, can you go ahead and talk trash about Maitre now?
I don't think I participated in this last week with Joe, so I think to keep the tradition going, I think I'm just going to go ahead and abstain because that just sounds like
basically you just say they're not a team player. I agree. Not a team player. Understood.
Not a team player because you don't talk shit.
This is a bonding experience. This is like a trust fall, and you just let us fall. That's what you just did, Melissa. Are you happy?
I did.
All right, guys, let's talk shit about Melissa now.
I mean, her lips are
guys,
looking a different color.
That her lipstick?
Yes.
It's not actually lipstick. She just threw shit on her lips.
Just some dookie.
Oh, this is high class stuff. All right. Well, we're down Maitre, unfortunately, but hopefully we're back next week, and hopefully the sound has stopped. Okay, let's dive in. So last time around, remember we're still in the Badlands. We left Greendale last time around. You're headed to this Demeter Corp facility. You're trying to rescue Mallory's friend Lucky. So last session, before leaving Greendale, Agaricus, you got enervated or whatever it might be by Grainfather, who told you to try to essentially inject yourself in there by him somewhere deep in the bowels of this Demeter Corp facility. You all learned a couple other random details about dangers and things like that as well. You left Greendale, no issues. You made it to the ruins a couple miles east. Rika's schematics that she had gotten from Sable Rust, they let you find an entry point at the top of a ridge that you discovered was not in fact a ridge, but it was not like rock anyway. It was like some kind of porous, spongy, fungal material instead. You climbed down into these executive offices. You heard some strange cackling from going on here and there. And then you eventually saw the source of that, which is some sort of weird kind of like hyena men that were wandering around. Agaricus, you managed to distract them with some spores that you released into the air. You found a defunct elevator shaft. You climbed down that. Ivan managed to set ablaze this blockage that was in the shaft so you can go down further. Eventually, you all got down to some kind of like damaged servers and coolant rooms. I think Mallory at one point tried to interface with a console, but got spiked by some kind of AI that was still active on the site. And they referred to Grainfather as an anomalous subroutine and noted that their own priority was ensuring the survival of Demeter Corp personnel, some of which apparently remain on site. Then Mallory, when you didn't really fully agree to do what they wanted, they tried to fry your brain. At one point, Rika tried to help you, and she got electrocuted in the process. All the while, everybody else was fighting some kind of big old mechanical monstrosity that was like half machine, half fungus, and had like an elephant trunk that was firing mortars at you. And I think between Agaricus and I think actually Verana froze it in place, Ivan blasted it, and then Agaricus put up some sort of fog of war to help give you guys cover. So you got Mallory free, patched him up a little bit as best you could. And then as you kept following some of those schematics, you found this big old rupture in the floor, and you can see it leads down to the deepest levels of the facility. And that's where we left off. So we're going to pick up right there, I'm going to say that fog is still in place. And so anybody who tries now to traverse further, because remember, we're still kind of delving down deeper into this facility, you're trying to hit a limit that would kind of get you to the bottom. So you guys are really close. You've made a lot of progress. Whoever decides to try to like take the spotlight to help usher or help find a way down this big old rupture in the floor would get the benefit of Agaricus's fog, because it gives you time to go down. So as you're standing there, you hear the sounds from all over, from beyond the fog. There's other things moving. You hear the sounds of stuff kind of exploding here, like some kind of cascade of explosions. You hear what sounds more like kind of cackling going off here and there. You hear the sounds of buzzing of various intercoms that try to go on and flicker off. And then there's like this thrumming from below, the sound of like fire, almost like a subway cars like going by from somewhere below. And there's no clear idea of what that actually is. But as you're looking down this rupture, you can definitely see that the stability of the floors is in serious question. Like a lot of the stuff is like bending downwards, and it doesn't look like it's solid metal. Much the same way when you were climbing up the ridge, everything got porous. Here, everything seems malleable. So who would like to kind of take up sort of the lead here and trying to descend a little bit further? Does anyone have a plan how to navigate down this rupture?
Well, if everything is malleable, then I suppose I should be too.
All right. Well, that's it for the night, guys. We'll see y'all later. Have a great rest of the week.
We had a good run.
It was good. That's it. Monday's over. This is the day of the week. It's no longer here. Okay. What are you gonna do, Adam? What's your idea? If I had that authority, I would definitely say Mondays are gone. What do you think, Mal?
I'm thinking a little bit of the old elemental body and transform specific body parts. So like if I need to extendo arm, go gooey arm, I guess, instead of gadget arm. And like I can separate and I like form different ways to get down there.
Okay.
And like if anything were to like start rupturing or like falling, I may be able to notice it with my disaster alertness.
Okay, I like it. Disaster alertness, your gooey Oreo Sunday, whatever it is you said, and then with the Agaricus's fog of war, you should be able to put that together and give us a roll. Right now, you guys are sitting at you've made a lot of progress on the traverse limit, but you still basically need like one more tick on it, and that would get you down.
Right. So I have brain fire. Would that come in?
Yes, that would definitely work against you here. Yep.
Okay. So I'm rolling with a +1.
All right.
You got this.
Gonna live forever. Oh, look at you. That's a great roll.
Yeah. I did it.
11.
Okay. Yeah, you got I hope you counted the story tag that Agaricus created as well. But even still.
I added a +1 on there and my 3 tags.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're plenty fine. So you've got, it looks like 1 power to spend essentially. So with that, you can just kind of create, again, you can put that towards traversing and that would essentially get you down. So what does it look like, Mallory? Just narrate as first you get down and how you do something that allows the rest of your team to follow you.
So as I'm going down, like I'm stretching out and like my arm gets really long and like sometimes like maybe my arm even has to kind of like split off and like run down my side and peel kind of like an orange peel kind of or a banana peel just to get a little bit further. And you see my body innards just a little bit, but then like something that would be out of reach for someone, I just kind of pull to where it's a little bit closer and they could step on it. And so that's kind of what I'm doing in order to help other people. And then just testing, nope, this one's good. Don't stand on it because I can like quickly move my mass around so I can put like less mass on a certain part than an ordinary person can. As I'm just like jiggling around, I guess.
This is gross. But so as you grossly climb down this rupture, and you assist everyone coming back down. Okay, hey, Melissa's gone. Let's. Okay, so apparently a bird just flew into the window where Melissa's computer is. So she's going to go resurrect it. I think that's what it sounds like. Okay,
that's a
she
good
does
thing.
Have those necromancy abilities.
It is. That's what it is. Hopefully, it's okay. Yeah, I saw her like do a thing. I couldn't tell if she was just like absolutely like disgusted by Adam's description or if something actually happened in her office. And it turns out something happened in her office. Okay,
it was both.
So, yeah, they're not mutually exclusive concepts. All right, so if you spend your power, you traverse, you make your way down, you leave behind some sort of basic tethers, or you create this sort of climbable path, and all of you follow. The fog doesn't necessarily come with you, but it certainly clogs up the top a bit, and so no one necessarily sees you descending. When you eventually find your footing, and much like outside, much like on the ridge, it feels again spongy in some way. More than that, when you hit the ground and your feet are touching, it was at some point some kind of metal tiles, but you can tell that things have undulated a bit, and they're not as sturdy or not as brittle as you would expect them to be. But you feel again like almost standing on top of, like right over top of a subway, and you just feel this like thump, 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 kind of like moving it at this very fast pace beneath your feet. You look around and you can see that everything down here, like all of the hallways, all of the walls themselves, everything's corroded, everything's overgrown. It looks like with this, with some sort of these like cables of fungal growths here and there. You can also see that there's a lot of like bioluminescence. It's very easy to see, in fact, down here compared to some of the other places you've seen before. You hear the sounds of like insects buzzing. It almost looks like you're in the bottom levels of like a terrarium, and everything smells like soil. Like it smells like this fertile, vibrant soil. You hear the sounds of something kind of snorting, like from somewhere down here. It like kind of echoes through the quiet, but you don't see the source of it. You do notice that some different directions that kind of point to like reactor. You see labs this way. You can see like a core, like directions to certain kind of like data core, and then you can see what looks like some kind of stasis chamber area. Like they're all kind of going out in different directions. You feel like you've hit the mother lode. Like this is the real portion of the facility that has been like hidden away behind, below the layers above it. You guys want to do down here? Like, what do you think? How do you think you're reacting as you land and see all this nonsense?
So is this undulation like a soft or gentle quivering, or is it more like a violent roiling?
It's like it generally feels like like if you've ever stood near a train as it passes and you hear the thump as each car comes, it has that kind of feel where it's not like it's going to bowl you over by any stretch, but you can kind of feel the vibrations come through the ground and into your feet, into your legs. Like that is, it's very clear.
I know exactly what that feels like. I was poor growing up.
There you go.
Yeah, live near train tracks. Cool.
So how are you guys reacting to this? You got this weird snorting sound in the distance. You've got this thumping underneath you. You have all these different places that you can go. You remember they called something the God Lab. You remember that there was something about the reactor that you could potentially do something with. Mallory, you would know that the stasis chamber is likely where Lucky was messaging you from. Like all of these.
And is that our current goal? We're still looking for Mal's friend
for Lucky.
Yeah, that's the primary goal. But you would also have a secondary goal. You would have a secondary goal, Clover. You would know that Synaptical, one of the mind memory companies, that they would essentially buy like any extra data you might have that was going on around here, especially if it had to do with sort of anything cognitive related.
Okay.
Hey, I turned to the person closest to me.
Yes.
Did I tell you all what happened when I was doing the like shaky brain thing, or did we just skip over that?
I think we skipped over that. There was messed up stuff happening at that point.
Oh, well, thanks. But I was talking to like Demeter Corp, like the computer system and all that, and they're like, "Hey, that Allfather guy, he's like a subroutine that like splintered off, and he needs to be like all shut down and put back. Will you do that?" And I was like, "I'm gonna do what's right, trying to, like not answer."
Mm-hmm.
And then it started from brain.
So like just next time you're in that situation, you can lie,
So if someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Well, if someone says, hey, this thing out here that seems to be doing good is bad and you have to stop it, and if you don't, I'm going to hurt you, you can just say, okay, I'll stop it.
Yeah,
and
they
then
didn't say directly that they were going to hurt me at first. I don't remember, actually. They may have said it.
You were plugged into a corpo computery mainframe that started talking to your brain?
Yep.
The I'm going to hurt you is kind of implied.
Oh.
The situation.
That happens every time. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I should remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, hey, bud, did you hear that? As I turned to Agaricus.
Yes. The whole innovation thing. Did they give, like, when they did that procedure? Did they kind of give me a heads up of what to look for to then plug it into, so to speak?
You would know basically from whatever they put into your brain. Like, all you're essentially looking for is any kind of that similar to what you did, where you kind of like put your arm into this receptacle. You're looking for something very similar to that. Like, you would guess that the tech that they had back in Greendale, it's the same tech that they probably have here in the ruins. So you're looking for something like that.
So, the grandfather was hoping to find a spot similar. You remember the thing where I put my arm in the doohickey and it did the doohickory-ness?
Yeah, it was similar to what I just went through, but yeah.
So apparently I need to find something like that, and then maybe this anomalous subroutine can tell the other routines that tried to, jiggle your brain to piss off.
Maybe. I just don't know who's right. I'm thinking it's the Allfather right now, but
I would usually err on the side of the person that gives food and gives a nice, happy life to others instead of this.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. But I kind of like to talk to some of the people in Cryo 7. Just talk to them and see what they say, how they do. Because if they're all like, you don't know what's going on, I would explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand it, I'm gonna kill him.
I have a feeling that a lot of them will say that.
All right, so, well, one at least, right? I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, anyways,
wandered off a little bit on her own and just sort of comes back. Sorry, I thought I heard something.
Oh, yes. Some terrible snorting down that way. Some weird birds over that way.
We should find, like, the security room. See if they got cameras. Use that to surveil the area. Figure out what bad places we should avoid and where we can find Agaricus's mystery armhole and where we can find your boy Lucky.
Yeah, you're right, because I must be off my game, because that's usually what I try to do first thing, and I didn't. So let's do it.
Agreed. And you should cut yourself some slack. It's not every day somebody fries your brains.
I know, I didn't even get anything to eat.
Oh, sorry. Orange?
Oh, yeah.
I have emergency bread rations if you are in need.
As he just like bites, doesn't even bother peeling.
That's okay. Most of the vitamin C is actually in the peel anyways. It's very good for your gums.
Cool.
That's interesting information. So are we going that way? And she's just pointing down a random hallway.
I mean, if you're looking for some kind of security place, so if you start moving around a bit, you still hear, you get the sense that there's something moving with you, like that snarling sound. You can hear it. Occasionally it'll get louder. Sometimes it'll drift and get quieter, but you definitely hear something is moving around down here with you. The air is very silty. Like there's something kind of floating along in it. You can see little, like some of that bioluminescence you can see is popping, and like little bits of spores will sort of sift out in some ways. But I will say that if you're looking specifically for security, you do find a checkpoint, not necessarily like local, like the whole security for the whole place, but you do find this checkpoint that definitely seems to have been established where it is like right at the edge of some kind of restricted access point. And you can see that the arrows like that are still visible beneath the grime on the walls kind of are pointing and down this way towards like data core, lab testing and stuff like that, and mycelial reactor. Like you can see like all that stuff seems to be going past this checkpoint. The checkpoint itself is kind of a small room off to your right as you're looking down this hallway, and you can see that the walls themselves have been sort of ripped apart. Like there is this double set of like heavy, almost blast doors that are no longer in play. One of them has fallen completely down to the ground, and you can see its overgrowth with all these different like cables of fungus, and the other one is still just hanging limply. And then the checkpoint room itself, you can see there's flickering lights. You think there might be power still functioning there as well, but it doesn't look like there's anyone currently in it. So since you found a potential security access point, what would you like to do with this security access point?
Let's head inside and see if we can fire up the camera feeds.
Okay.
For the area.
Who's doing this? Who wants to take the lead on this? This is just going to be a quick outcome. You don't got to do a tracked outcome. Just give me a quick outcome for some kind of like access this system.
I can give a go, unless you want to, Mallory.
I mean, aren't I the hacker?
Yeah.
Like, and when he does that, like you can tell he is not there. Like he is.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
You seem a little.
You need your brain to cool off a little bit more.
It's my job, though.
I can do surveillance. I can do security stuff.
Hey, you need this. Like I point at my electronics bracer console, but I don't know if you can allow that for other people or not. Let them
you're
use
basically
your
if you're just doing like a generic assist, I would say yes, you can.
Okay.
But when you do that, that means I'm also going to tap into the fact that you've been brain fried, which means like you've been spiked. So
that might not be a good idea.
You could totally give them that, but I'm saying anything that you use that might have been tapped or
connected
spiked
to you
by the AI, depending on how Ivan rolls. If Ivan rolls poorly, the consequence could blossom from that, but he can take the plus on the roll.
Hey, you can use this if you want to.
Sure, man.
All right.
All right. I'm going to lean into I'm going to have Left help me out, my tech gremlin. And then I'm thinking I can also probably use like my evade surveillance. Maybe that gives me enough knowledge on how security cameras and stuff works.
You specifically know that you are that there is an active AI that's still functioning within the crumbling system here. So like evading surveillance in the sense of invade. I think that would make sense here.
Okay. And then the +1 from his deebly thing. Do I need to worry about? What it's called. Oh, perfect. I'm smart sometimes. Do I need to worry about my burned or poisoned?
In this case, burned or poisoned. No, I don't think so. This is more of like a concentration thing. There is restricted access though. There is a location tag that's working against you. So -1 from that.
Okay. So that'll balance out. Adam's assistance.
Okay.
I'm gonna click tracked extras.
No, just a quick outcome.
Quick.
You don't got to worry about. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go. That was pretty good.
All right, I'll take a 10.
10 on the dot is perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, you do manage to get into the system. You see that there were some flickering lights. There's a basic console. You can see that console comes on. It kind of creates this sort of VR effect where the screen comes off from the grime and loads up right in front of you. And you're able to just sort of visualize the system, like the security system in place. So you can see like a various listings of what looks like a whole shitload of errors and alarms and like reports that have been logged. And as you're looking at it, you realize it's been logged for like 10 years or so, something like that. You can see like
there's a fire alarm that's been on for like ever.
Just keeps going. No one knows why. It's weird. There's not even a fire. So yeah, you can see that, but you basically can see a directory. So you have you have clear access. Doesn't look like anyone's noticed you yet.
Okay. So it shows I got 2 power. Really what I would like to know, if we got this information, if I can leverage like the security cameras, I'd like to know what the hell that snorting thing is. So we know if we need to avoid it or if we can take it, or maybe it's just a really big puppy with like the sniffles.
Exactly what it is. Sorry. You start hacking away. You bring up the screen. You start interfacing with it. And then you start swiping away a lot of the notifications and you start diving into the security cams. And you can see that cams pop up in a lot of these different places. Probably about half of them you can see aren't working perfectly. You're getting weird distorted images. Some are out. But you definitely get a look at the stasis labs. Like you can see like they're dark and flickering, but there is light coming from the various pods themselves. So even though the chamber itself is dark, and you can tell that there's quite a few pods. Not all of them are lit up, but you can see there are at least a handful. You would notice too that there is a kind of a reactor, a couple different cameras in the reactor core, and that place just like you can barely see anything because the vegetation is just blocking everything. And there's some kind of central chamber, some kind of central like a centrifuge at the middle of it. This sort of column that seems to have been broken out of, and it's kind of grown in these different directions, and it's blocking half of the cameras you're getting in here. Then when you're looking around, you notice that there is what's called the like what you see on the security screens, little pop-up of where you're at. It says data core. And you see over there's like rows and rows of archived content. And you would imagine that that's where Demeter core research probably is. Like that's where a lot of their research has been stored, like the physical storage of it. And you can see coming out of the shadows in the hallway out in front of it, there is what very much just looks like this, almost like a hippopotamus-sized creature. And you can see growing off of it, it's got, in some cases, it's got like moss. In other cases, you can see there's little bits of like fungus growth, like mushroom growth on top of it. And then there's other places where it almost looks like there's circuitry going through it in a way. You're not sure if it's just carrying something. But as it stops, it just goes and just looks around a bit, and it matches up as you see its head move around with some of the distant echoes you can hear of it, because it's very loud every time it does it, but it's enormous as it's moving about. And so that's what it seems to be.
Okay. Yeah, I'll relay. It's down, and that was in the reactor area, correct?
Yeah, that was over by the data core. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of different places you guys could want to go right now. Like you could want to go to the stasis stuff for Lucky. You could want to go to the data core to
super want to go to the data core.
Yeah. And then there's some sort of laboratory down here that that Agaricus, that was of interest in some ways to the Grainfather. We called it the God Lab.
Okay. I'll definitely relay the information I picked up. The important parts are giant, gnarly tech mushroom vine monstrosity in the data archives.
Okay.
It does not look friendly. And then also saw cryo. It's dark, but some of the pods still have lights on in them. So
Nice.
I don't know what you all would want to do, but I think I would be in favor of cryo first, get our primary out of the way, rescue those people, or rescue Lucky, and then see if there's anything else. Get them set up somewhere semi-safe, like maybe in here.
Have we seen any sort of like defenses, like turrets or anything?
No, not really. You guys actually made a quick beeline down the elevator shaft. So you only really explored like one level. This is only the second level, so you haven't really seen anything like that. Out front, you did see what looked like security equipment, but it's long been like destroyed by other raiders and stuff coming in. But you haven't seen anything like that. Most of everything that's been bothering you has been whatever these creatures are that has been crafted here.
Okay.
I'm curious, with the snorting that it's doing, did it look like is it like sniffing the air from what you saw, or is it just like a breathing thing?
No, it because it picked its head up, and that's when like the snorting noise, like it looked like it was processing.
Because, I mean, I'm still practicing it a bit, but maybe at some point, if we did want to go kind of where it was, I could try to formulate a way to like have a different type of stink in a different area that might draw it away.
Not a bad idea. Maybe we
I like the sound of that.
Stink up somewhere else.
Fungal durian.
Yeah. Ew. Yeah, stink up somewhere else. Maybe get a little bit of something to make some racket there.
Well, Garrett, why don't you just give us a roll? You guys aren't under immediate threat at the moment. Like you know that like the AI is probably going to detect you at some point, and you know that that creature is probably going to wander around, and who knows what else you might run into. But currently, you guys aren't under threat. So, Garrett, if you want to just do a quick, actually do a tracked outcome, see how much power you get, and that might allow you to create an effect, and how that determines how effective it is. We'll see.
So I'll be using floral growth to create the stink fruit. I'll be attaching on the emit pheromones to kind of give it just the right sort of smell to attract this thing. I'll sprout vines to kind of like get it up in place. We don't want it someplace where the creature can just reach it easily. We want to kind of put it up in a corner somewhere that's going to be hard for it to get to. I don't really know too much else to add to it. That seems...
Yeah, that all seems reasonable.
Okay. So then do
attract extras is probably fine.
Extras.
You're just trying to create an effect elsewhere.
7.
7's okay. I mean, it's still a success. What I will say, so that's so you've got your 3, I think it was 3 or no, 2 power.
3
2 power net.
I'm not sure. I've got several -1s. It could be from any of those.
It might be using one of your statuses or something.
Yeah.
That we don't know. That
I've got shrapnel, battered, enriched -1.
For whatever reason, it was pulling the individual ambitions from our crew, which I don't know that would be relevant. That was the -1, was the crew.
You probably just have something
negative.
ticked that you shouldn't have. Let me go in and see what's going on. Yeah, it looks like you've got your...
If you click on it, it'll expand and show you the list of what was part of it. So plus for floral overgrowth, plus for sprout vines, plus for pheromones, negative for individual ambition.
Looks like you probably would have a 9, maybe, because it took you a -1. You should have had a +1 instead. So yeah, I think you'd actually get a 9. Still a success, still with a slight consequence. I'll say that the slight consequence is just going to be that you definitely hear the sounds of something else down here that is also moving about. And so not only have you drawn the attention of this, and you actually can feel the steps come. It's that big and that heavy. But you do hear the sounds of like buzzing as these swarms of insects begin to sweep through and kind of start getting in your hair, getting in your clothes, and all of you are kind of getting covered with that. They don't look like hornets or bees. They look more like swarms of like almost mosquitoes in some ways. It's got like each of them are kind of weaving around you, and it just becomes this irritating bit.
Sorry.
On the cameras, did we see anything that looks like a shuttle system or something that was making the So we were feeling like a lot of vibrations and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything
You
that
did not.
looks like would be
not.
causing that from the cameras?
No, but you can still feel it too. Like you know, you can still feel it's a little like where you're at now, a little bit further in, more stable ground. Like you can definitely feel still the vibrations that are underneath you. It genuinely feels like you are walking along on a street and there's a subway moving beneath you. That has not changed at all.
We might want to move ourselves along, and if we don't see where that's coming from, that could mean poor things for the Foundation here.
Sweet.
Okay. So Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay. With Agaricus creating the distraction, you guys managed to get to the entrance to the stasis chambers. The problem is that these stasis chamber doors seem, unlike other places here, they've been cleaned. Somebody has been through here relatively recently, not like in the last 10 minutes, but in the last few days, which makes sense because Lucky's been here in the last few days. But you can tell like some of the doors and the hallways that you've passed, like there's growth over top of it that looks like it hasn't been cleared for months or years. Here, it's been cleared away. But when you go to access the door, you realize that whatever kinds of security systems you would expect to find in a place like this, they finally seem to be localized to this chamber. You haven't run into this anywhere else. You've seen some modest bits of power coursing through a few different consoles, and definitely the AI was monitoring some things here and there, but you never have had to worry about going through any kind of security checkpoint or kind of busting through anything. But here you can tell when you go up to try to pull the door open or even kind of just do some basic interface, like this for once makes it feel like you're at a black site, and it does not look like there's easy access. So you would essentially need to find a way to bypass some of this. And Mallory, you would also know that the AI was very intent on protecting the remnants of Demeter Corp. And Ivan, you saw multiple lights in different stasis chambers. You would probably assume that this place has been locked down to some degree. But Lucky did get in somehow, so there's got to be a way.
So like Shaki Evo computer program dude was like, oh, hey, this is important. Like, I'm going to take care of my people. So, yeah, it looks like it may be a little tough to get through.
I think
there's
you'll
like
be
an
able
AI
to do
protecting
it.
this room.
Yeah.
So, but Lucky got through. So if
Yeah.
Lucky got through,
He got lucky.
Yes. That means there's a way through. Unless you think maybe Lucky just asked the AI.
Yeah, maybe he was all like, hey, I can help. I can do things. Sure.
But then why would he put himself in cryo?
Oh, no, because his message said they're coming or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can Verona try another healing check on Mallory to help his recovery with kind of the effects of this?
Yeah, you could certainly do that. What I would say is that is going to take some time. So if we're just standing in front of the door and you do know that Agaricus's thing is only going to distract that creature for so long.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
Mallory, I think maybe if you can get us through this door, maybe we can close it behind us and then we'll maybe be a little more protected to try to help you.
Yeah. Let's get through this door. Okay. And I'm going to hook my bracer console into the door. And I'm going to start interfacing with the door with my intrusion specialist. And this is a security system on the door, so I'm going to try and crash it. So crash systems. Maybe I would basically use all my tags, find backdoors, and masquerade as real user.
Yeah, and your brain fry stuff will work against you. So will the restricted access. So there's two things working against you here.
What's the restricted access like amount?
It's just one in this case. It's just a tag. It's not a status.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Oh, sorry. was gonna say, since part of his trouble is being brain fried, could I give him a slight assist by doing like psychic blast to try and clear some of the noise out of his head? I basically do white noise.
Okay.
Kind of like my hearing aids do for tinnitus.
Kind of.
Go ahead and why don't you do a setup action, Agaricus, instead of just a simple assist, and just put your pool together for that. Roll it, and then make it a quick outcome, or make it a tracked outcome, and then you can spend power to give him a temporary status.
That sounds even better.
Big bonus. Yeah.
So at that point, I might do like emit pheromones to kind of like increase his get him alert.
His focus or alertness. Yeah.
Get his alertness up. Do the psychic blast. And then maybe even get out of the magic backpack, just like one of those breather type things, like kind of reach in there, shuffle around, pop a little breather thing, kind of keep some of the stuff in, like keep it in place on him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
And then do that as a track. I'm down with that.
Anytime to see Ariana.
What do you need, sweetheart? Are you doing okay?
Well, basically, I'm going to try to, project myself into his brain a little bit, get him to breathe some spores, and I just kind of want to keep them in place so he keeps. Almost like a CPAP.
A CPAP. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've got something in here. Let me see.
And you can see she just starts going through it, but as she starts throwing something out of the bag, they just sort of disintegrate and disappear because it's all just VR images, and she's just
this could probably work.
And she lifts up some old nasty looking nose.
I see. So we're gonna have to visit after I'm done with this.
Yeah, you should come for dinner. Yes, and you can bring your friends, she says, but she doesn't mean it.
So. I'm sure they'll be terribly busy, especially Clover.
Yeah. Oh, he's still
I will be.
Oh. Is he still suspicious of me?
Yes.
Oh, he can hear me? You're supposed to let me know when I'm on speaker. What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't understand the settings on this thing yet. I don't know how to turn off speaker.
I remember liking her. All right.
Of course.
Yeah. That's why you're invited to dinner, I suppose.
Yes. Okay. Right, so should I do track extra or
track extra is fine? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or empower. One of the two is fine. Doesn't matter.
We were papoose buddies.
Oof.
Yep. That's classic me.
Okay. That's a rough roll. Okay, that's everything, right? You only had 3 power?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
okay.
All right. So I was going to try and help you, and I'm about to bring you down. I'm sorry, man.
Don't worry. You're not going to hurt him. But what I'll say is in the process of doing whatever it is you're doing, like throwing some kind of psychic blast, whatever you had in the pores of your body that you emit to get the sort of the distraction for that hippopotamus creature, there's still a little bit of residue left. And so what ends up happening is you emit this charge, and it kind of covers Mallory, but it covers the area, and you hear the sounds of the buzzing as if you've attracted some of those bugs that are starting to swarm back at you. But you also hear, and then you hear thump, 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 as if you've drawn the attention of the big thing. You can't see it yet, but you know that you can hear it echoing through the halls.
It's so good.
There's a timer.
So put this on and don't look or listen behind you. Everything's fine.
Oh, no. You know what that means?
What's that, Mallory?
This requires concentration.
Oh, it does.
No.
You're right. Give it a roll.
Tracked extras?
Yeah, tracked extras is fine. I'm sorry, Chuck, were you saying something?
Could left assist Mallory?
I would say left can just be a standard basic assist. You can just throw left on with him. That's fine.
Okay. So +1?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So that is a 9 on the roll, which looks really, really good. You manage to, as you get in there, you realize that there is a familiar presence. You don't think you've completely bypassed whatever security alertness detection is on, and you feel something actively start to work against you, but it gets there just a half second too late, and you know it as the AI, and you manage to quickly put in some kind of bypass code. And then you hear the mag lock, whatever it is, keeping this door in place. Something goes, and you're able to start opening it up. And that's right when this creature weaves around the corner, and it is the size of a giant minivan, and it's just and it just starts charging at you as like the door, you're slowly pushing it open, Mallory, because it's thick, it's heavy duty, and this thing is charging down. Go ahead, Verona.
Yes.
What do you think?
Okay. So Verona is going to help push this door open. So this seems like a Ron ancient fighting techniques kind of a thing that Verona would be able to help with.
Okay. So if you just want to try to push this door open fast enough so that everyone can climb in, if you fail, you know that this creature is going to slam into you, right?
Yep. I am going to... All right, I'm going to throw everything at this. So it's going to be myself and my undead servitors that are going to help with this. So I'm going to command undead servitors, which is also corpse animation. And
you have
also,
them? I can't remember. Did you summon undead servitors last time? Do you have them walking around with you, hanging out?
Yes.
Okay.
I lost sense life force. That was the thing that I lost. And then for me personally, I'm going to be using my ritual dagger and my ancient fighting techniques. So
your ritual dagger.
You're
gonna stab
give it the hinges, you know?
Is that what it is?
It's kind of a like I'm imagining it, and it can break if needed. But I'm kind of doing the thing where like you slide a door open and you like stick a knife in it so that it doesn't like.
That's how I open all my doors, Jeff. I don't know what you're talking about.
You just stab your doors open?
I just you open the door and then you stick a knife in it.
Well, it's like a credit card, you know, like you put that into the lock and
well, the door's unlocked. I'm just flavoring
I'm imagining
the slowness of this thing coming at you, right?
Yeah, holding it open.
You're gonna hold the door open for
through.
it so it can push through the door and join you guys inside.
Well, no, the people, and then let it slide behind.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That is an 11.
All right. Your undead servitors like smash themselves against it, and as they shatter against this door, it flings open, and this creature is gonna slam down into everybody. But because you've managed to kind of get the door open, you can all kind of pile in. You feel the force of the impact of this creature against the wall, and like you kind of almost get thrown back from it. The wall itself, the door, everything seems sturdy enough, but I'll say you're able to slam the door behind you. All of you are inside, but you can feel the sounds of like this creature smashing out against the door, like one after the other, and you know it's right outside, and it knows you're in. And when you look around, you can see it's very dark in here. You can see some of the stasis chambers seems to be lit up like just like you saw, Ivan. There's enough visibility in here. There's probably enough in here for maybe 30 people, but about a third of those maybe seem to be occupied. You can see there's a handful of consoles, places here and there that are set up for what you would imagine like preparatory work of getting these stasis chambers running, getting up and running, like, or trying to sort of get people prepped to go inside. There's nothing in here that you can tell. Like, you don't hear the sounds of any creatures or anything like that, but there is just that constant smash against the door. So, what do you want to do?
I'm going to look for Lucky.
Is this the only door in here? Is there only this one entrance into this room?
There does not seem to be any other obvious way out of here. No, like if you do a quick move around, Clover, there's no roll necessary for this. You just do a quick sweep. It's not a huge chamber. It's like an octagonal chamber. You can see that things are stacked, and the chambers are stacked in different places. It's stasis. You're not even sure if these are purely for like humanoid. Like, as you pass by a few of them, you can look inside of them, and it looks like the old remnants of something that doesn't look human that just burnt out inside of this pod. But you don't notice any obvious signs out. Like, there's a vent or two, like for drainage, but you don't really see another door or anything like that. All right.
So Mallory, do you see Lucky?
Yeah, I'm looking around for him. And I'm even like, hey, Lucky.
Okay. Well, he doesn't hear you. But as you look around, you do see that there are about 10 inhabited, lights on, still functioning pods. You go through them one at a time. Some people seem to have like Demeter Corp clothes on. Others seem to be injured. You can tell that like there's blood on them, like they suffered some kind of attack, but they still their vitals seem to be in place. And then lo and behold, Mallory, you do notice a very familiar face inside one of them. You haven't seen Lucky for a few years. Things have changed. He's got a little bit of a scraggly beard going on that you don't necessarily recall him having. But he looks very gaunt, and he definitely looks like he's wearing some tattered clothes, like he's been through some things. And much like some of the others, kind of covered in blood and covered some other grime. Looks fairly pale and scarred, but you do see your old friend, he is in there.
All right. So is this simple enough to where I can just get him out?
Yeah, I think so. I think you could just see it. You're at the stasis. You kind of walk through the process. You're a smart enough guy. And so, and it kind of goes through this long like process, like it's kind of lowering the temp, and you can see it's injecting some kind of fluids automatically. And it's this whole process. It's going to take a few minutes. Meanwhile, the door is getting smashed against, and then you suddenly hear, I'll say Garricus and Ivan and Clover, since you all aren't really like paying attention necessarily to what Mallory's doing, you just hear the sounds of the door locking again, like the zzz, as if some sort of mechanism has locked it once more. And then the lights in the room light up all of a sudden. You're no longer in this like shadowy chamber with just a handful of lights. Everything gets really bright. You see all these different screens start to pop up here and there, and it looks like a fully functioning room. You don't see any real signs of the kind of destruction you've seen elsewhere. This seems like a small oasis in the entire facility at this point. And then on one of these screens, you see this shadowy silhouetted figure that Mallory would recognize just suddenly come up on top of one of them and is looking down. And a voice comes out. Halt. Priority. Release. And it lists a series of pod serial numbers that correspond to some of the other pods that you have before. And you can hear a voice, just like this automated, like definitely a fake synthesized voice coming out.
So you want me to release them?
It wasn't talking to you. You're messing around with Lucky. This is more something that like was kind of addressing everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like anybody moving about, so whether it's Clover while you're looking for an exit, you see this little screen pops up and it says priority, release pods, and then a series of serial numbers. And it's like the whole damn serial number. It's not just like a singular one. And it's waiting for like confirmation that you're doing it. How are you all reacting?
That we should comply, right?
I think we should have a conversation with this thing first.
Is this when we do the lying thing?
I would say it's not safe currently to let anyone out.
You would hear like a small little hum and then a smash against the door. And then the voice would echo out once more. Priority, release. And then there's like like you can tell like it's like doing some sort of calculation. And it says current oxygen levels in this room are 42%, 41%, 40%, 39%. And you see on one of the screens, it's starting to show the oxygen levels in the room beginning to deplete.
Hey, computer voice, are you lowering the oxygen levels?
Confirmed.
Have you ever heard of mutually assured destruction?
You can see it's processing. Confirmed.
Okay, so you're going to turn the oxygen back on. If your oxygen levels get to 30%, I am going to use my magic fire powers, and I am going to incinerate all of the pods, killing your priority people.
See the numbers ticking down, 33, 32. Then it stops.
Okay. We'll get your priority releases out. Before we free them, we would like to secure an exit. This creature followed us. Do you have data on this creature?
You can you can see like that silhouette. It's just kind of looking at you. You have no face to read. It's just like this black silhouette of a person. And if you can guarantee safety of Demeter Corp employees, extraction from premises, I can lead you out.
Okay. And what about the creature? Is there an alternate exit that isn't blocked off by that thing?
I can draw it away from you momentarily. You must move with expediency.
Well, party, I think we've got our answer.
Jeremy winks for the podcast audience.
Why is the plant one winking? What does that mean? I've read about this.
I was trying to produce oxygen to counter what you were doing, and it was giving me sinus issues. It's terribly difficult having sinuses and being a plant.
Your eyelids produce oxygen.
Photosynthesis is produced all over the plant body.
Okay. So it does seem like it stopped venting the oxygen. Mallory, you've pretty much finished with the process for releasing Lucky. Verana, Clover, Agaricus, Ivan, are you doing what you said and you starting to release some of these others?
I don't see any reason not to.
Yeah, I think so.
Verana would like to look if there's, sort of the, sort of cryopod window thingies that would like to match, a serial number to one of those and look and see what it is that we're releasing into our small enclosed area.
The AI voice is definitely directing you to the pods that are functioning. Clover, when he was doing a quick surveillance of the room, did notice that there were other pods that had something horrific inside, and then they kind of broke down in some way. But these do look to be human.
Okay.
They seem human, so perhaps if Lucky was stuck here, then perhaps they deserve to be released.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm not looking to trade that thing out there for other things to fight in here, but I'll do as it commands, I suppose. So Verana will see what she can do to release.
Okay. It's not hard. It's like a simple process. You just follow like a step-by-step procedure. It takes a few minutes each time. So Verana, you go up to one of the pods and you start kind of going through the procedure to sort of shut it down. And you can see like the oxygen in the room ticks up again as Verana does so. What about Agaricus and Clover and Ivan?
I will move to another of the claimed or pointed out pods and start going through the process on that one.
Oxygen level ticks up again.
Sam, I'm going to help with the pods.
One more. Continues to tick up. Each time one of you kind of goes someplace, you see like there's a reward that comes with it. About you, Agaricus?
Now think of it as we're saving these people. Yes, that's what we're doing, and I'm okay with that.
There you go.
Certainly hope so.
So as all of you start working on various pods, Mallory, yours you can hear, and like the lid opens up, and there's this blast of kind of cold air, a little bit of mist, and you can see inside that he is very gaunt. He is kind of covered in some kind of survivalist cloak. It's kind of camouflage colors like this, but like for desert, sort of for desert movement. Very scarred hands, like you can tell, like he's probably suffered some kind of burns, some sort of backfire burns. And again, looks a little bit older, but like it's only been a couple of years, and they probably look maybe 2 or 3 times as older than those years have passed. They've lived a hard last few years, but their eyes open up, like you can see them flickering, and they kind of open up.
Hey, buddy.
And looks directly at you, and you can tell there is no recognition whatsoever in his face.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Who are you? What? Who are you?
I'm here to save you. Doesn't matter who I am.
Save me. Where the hell am I?
Hey, you got cryo sickness. It's all right. You'll be all right. Just follow me.
Why am I in?
Yeah, I know. You put yourself here. All right,
What?
I can tell you that much. But yeah, there's this thing out there. Listen,
You hear this slam against it. Holy shit! What the hell is that?
we gotta
my
go.
God.
We gotta go. So just come with me if you want to live, and we'll be good.
I feel so nauseous. Oh my God. And like you go to help him out.
Yeah. Here you go to spew in this.
So he gets out, looks a little nauseous, grabs the orange, and starts eating it. Thank you. What the hell?
You're welcome.
Where the hell am I? Who the hell am I? Who the hell are you?
Hey, we'll
What
figure
the
that
hell is
out.
going-
It's a thing that happens to people who go into cryo sleep.
Why am I in cryo sleep? What?
Hey, buddy, if you stop asking all the whys and you just do what we tell you to, you'll have a higher chance of living. Okay, bud? High five.
Why do you keep calling me bud?
Because I'm here to save you. That's a buddy thing to do.
We don't know your name.
Well, I don't know my name.
Oh, it's Lucky.
Who the hell names a kid Lucky? That's a terrible name for a kid.
No. You sure you want me to tell you your real name?
Oh, this is Lucky.
I don't feel lucky. I just woke up in the middle of a place that someone's trying to break in, and I don't know who I am, and all of you are...
Your name's Harpreet. Got it?
Harpreet?
Yeah.
What?
So you're going to come
that
with me.
either.
Yeah, see, I figured I could have just told you anything, but that's what your name is. So
Do you feel comfortable walking? Would you like a papoose?
No, what? No, I can walk. Dude, I can walk. Oh, jeez.
It's pretty nice.
No. What is going on? And you can see that they're genuinely confused and terrified.
Yeah, so I put my hand on their shoulder.
Like kind of like recoils a bit.
I understand.
What?
But we went through a lot of trouble to come and get you. And there's something really dangerous out there. So just
smashes against the door.
You can come with me or you can deal with that. It's your choice.
What the hell?
Come on.
And he just continuing to just feel extremely disoriented. And that's when we hear and the one that Verana has been working on pops open. And you see inside there's a woman, probably late 40s or so. You can tell that she's had some, she has some augmentation here and there. Just a couple little things kind of suddenly blink on as like the pod closes down. Her eyes kind of flicker on. And you can see something along her temple starts to flicker up. She's wearing a Demeter Corp uniform. You can see it's just sort of this almost like a double-breasted kind of jacket. And then you can see that there's a like a small little lit up display that says Dr. Reese. She's like, what? Goodness gracious. What on earth has happened? Who are you? And she looks up at you, Verana.
We're here to rescue you. What's the last thing you remember?
What's the status of the facility? And you can see she starts kind of climbing out. Yes. Wonderful. Oh my goodness.
What's the last thing you remember?
The last thing I remember is that I only speak to those who actually have proper security clearance. Who are... Oh, goodness. Steadies herself.
Yes,
who are you? What is your security code?
Clearance now.
You've been in stasis for quite some time. The status of this facility is disrepair. We need to get you out of here as soon as possible.
You are an extraction team? You are with Demeter Corp? Theta? Theta, are you here? And you hear, yes, Dr. Reese. These are not an extraction team with Demeter Corp, but they are here to take you and the other Demeter Corp agents to safety. What is the status of the facility? And like, you see the voice kind of pops up again. It is overrun. Oh, goodness gracious. What year is it? What year is it? And she's like calling out to you, calling out to others. But she seems, by the way, in full control of her faculties, in full control. Like, she's like, you can tell she's a little dizzy and like as she's like steadying herself, but she has no
not the
issues
same
whatsoever.
symptoms that Lucky has.
Not even a little bit. No. Yeah. And she's just looking around. Oh, goodness gracious. As she looks at Agaricus. What? Did one of these get out? Why is this?
We are working together. We're here to rescue. And Verona would want to compare, like, what year does she think it is? What year do we say it is? Like, is it
It's like a 10-year difference.
Okay. So, yes, it appears you have been stasis for quite some time, actually. And she'll give the current date and year.
So like she processes it. No real shock. She seems very business oriented. Theta, what is the status of the route? And you hear like Theta come on. It is no longer under Demeter Corp control. It has broken containment. It has spread across the district. It has, you can see she's just like shaking her head, panicking a little bit. You can see she seems very alert. Goodness. What outside contact do we have? And like the AI is like, limited. We are unable to communicate regularly with the outside, only through third parties such as this. But that one, and like you can see the lights over by where like Lucky is, damaged our communication systems before going into cryo. Like there's what do you mean? I didn't do anything. Why are you all looking at me? I don't even know who you people are. What the hell is happening? What the?
Is there supposed to be like some cryo juice or something you drink before you put yourself under? Because he doesn't seem like he's okay.
She looks at you with like this sharp look. Like, what do you think this is? Some sort of science fiction VR film? This is real life. I mean,
you're handling it better than him is all I'm pointing out.
We have greatly advanced our stasis capabilities here at Demeter Corp for proper subject study, long term.
Was this a plan that you were supposed to be carrying on your work in stasis for the last 10 years?
There was an incident. Again, I don't know who you do not have proper protocols to know any of this information.
Hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. So we could either play this game some more, or we could work together to get you out, or you could go back in. I mean, that's like the three options I see, and I'm willing to do whichever one.
Tick down when you threaten her.
I'm willing to do whichever one.
I make some fire in my hand and hold it next to a pod.
Stops again.
I'm willing to do whichever one you pick. It's your call. Okay? Like, we could do whichever one you want. But hey, you hear that?
Right again. It's so perfectly timed. Every time you want it to hit for like dramatic effect, it just seems to do so. That damn hippopotamus knows what to do.
So good.
Yeah.
Like, we really want to help. Okay, just work with us. Okay, like, but if you don't like us and you don't want our help and you want to go back in, we'll put you right back in and we'll get you going. You can wait another 10 years. Got it? Like, it's your call.
Given the circumstances, I believe that I could be persuaded to hire you on as temporary contract workers. There will be if you can extract myself and the rest of, oh my goodness. She's now notices like so many of the pods have been screwed up.
Yeah, we'd like to get you up before anything else happens. Okay.
Theta, what is the status of the data core? And you can hear 75% intact, ma'am. We need to leave the facility with some of that data with us. Otherwise, this entire endeavor has been for naught.
Yeah, okay. All right. And I understand, together. Like, you're really high up and you're like used to like having a lot of like control and power, and you're going to get it back, but we don't have it right now. Okay. So we'll work with you.
Mallory, you feel a sudden explosion of fire inside of your head as like whatever brain fire, whatever that kind of thing is happening. So like you just feel this like arcing pain sort through it, and you just hear like Theta, like the AI comes on. You will treat Dr. Reese with proper respect, as like your brain just feels like it's on fire.
Yeah, no, I'm just completely down on the ground and like until it's over.
Okay. Well, you don't get a papoose.
Verona at this point is going to look over to Dr. Reese. If you have some control over this, we're attempting to help you. This needs to stop. And Verona's going to go over and try to do some more kind of cooling stuff with Mallory and kind of try to get this cool down. This needs to stop.
And if going to the data core can help resolve some of whatever, because you haven't seen it, but it's very bad out there. So if you think going to the data core can maybe help with more long-term problem solving, we like solving problems. So let's solve problems together.
See, she's like calculating, looking between everything that's happening. Mallory on his knees, Verona kind of helping him out, Garricus like making this plea. If you are willing to ensure that we extract whatever data we can get from our laboratories, then you could safely take those of us who have survived out with us. I see no reason why we cannot function together as a team. And I am sure that Demeter Corp will reward you for your endeavors, your bravery when we return to safety.
Deal.
Excellent. Theta, leave the poor man alone.
And suddenly, Mallory, the fire inside your brain dissipates, and like you feel fine.
Yeah, I'm not used to corporate protocols. I'm trying to be nice. You get that, right?
And you see Lucky's like, what the hell is going on? Why am I here? Who are you people? What the hell is happening? Oh my God. And like, it's like backing up and away, and then slam right behind him. You hear, and for the first time, you see like the wall and the door physically start to buckle a little bit as all of the smashing of this creature has started to actually take a toll for the first time. Holy shit. What the hell is that? Oh my God. And he's freaking out.
It's okay. The voice that was calling itself Theta, was it? You said you could help with that, right?
I can, yes. One moment. And then there's like for a little bit, like the screen disappears and you don't see like that silhouette. And then after a couple moments, the sounds of the smashing stops. And you just hear dum, 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 kind of moving away from the door at this point. And then the silhouette comes back up. It will not be dissuaded for long. It will return in short order. I have...
Sorry, I thought you were done. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
So I'll turn to Lucky and I'll be like, Lucky, your mom's name was Tanvi, okay? you remember that?
Dude, I don't know who the hell you are. I don't even know. You say I'm lucky. See, I have like 2 different names, and I tell me my mom's name, and I don't know what the hell is going on. And Mallory, like, it should dawn on you at a certain point that this is not normal.
Yeah, he's got amnesia. I just didn't know how far back it went.
Yeah, like he seems to have no concept of his identity whatsoever.
Like, all I can say, you lost your memory, and we're gonna help you, but there's something big and scary that'll eat you if you don't come with us. All right,
Mallory, you would know that this is not a case of he just got amnesia from coming out of a cryo chamber for 5 days in cryo. This is his memories have been out of his brain. They're gone.
Right, but I'm trying to explain it to him.
Okay, I just want to make sure Adam understands it.
I do.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Verona would probably move on to the next chamber because there were like 10 or so that had people in them.
Yeah,
so.
I've been continually working on those.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well.
You can.
Yeah. I want to ask this lady, like, so you said there was communications equipment that was damaged. Do we need to get that back online in some way? Is that something I can help you reestablish, an uplink or something?
I don't know the full extent of the severity of the travesty that has befallen this facility. I have just woken up myself, and while my faculties seem to be in far better state than your friend over there,
he's not my friend, but
I would trust in Theta. They are there to ensure the safety and stability of those who work here in this facility. If Theta says that the communications are down, if Theta says that our best bet is for extraction, then we should listen to what they say. They have been programmed to cater to our protection.
All right. Seems like that's been going well. But we'll go along with what he says.
It's not a he or she, it's a they or it. Just never mind. And you can see she just kind of gets flustered a bit, and she's kind of going through the same process and letting people out of the pods and such. And I'll say after a certain point, like, you guys let out, what looks like about 9 people from all wearing various uniforms, some of whom look to be lab equipment, or lab uniforms, lab coats, things like that. Others look to be more like utility. And all of them come out, and they seem to have full faculties, full memories. Like, and you can see they start kind of sharing updates and this and that. Like, what did they see? What did they see? Describing like the last thing that happened. Like, when did the protocols kind of go into place? And like, when did like the sort of the hide in place, kind of sort of protocols like trigger, things like that. So you can see they start kind of getting in this small little network, and they're communicating. But it definitely seems like this Dr. Reese is the one that is giving like the most orders.
Are there any of these pods with Demeter people that look like they didn't make it?
Yeah, there's, I would say, about 2/3 of them. Yeah.
Okay. Do these people have like key cards and stuff on them visibly or anything like that? Does it seem like they have any sort of...
You probably could find something like that in them, yeah.
Okay. I want to try and open up one of these pods because it seems like it's a pretty involved process with like the injections and all that. But I wonder if I could get a pod open, and if they're dead, I don't really have to go through all that. I just want to get it open enough to try and get like a card or something off of one of the dead people.
Yeah, I don't think any roll really is necessary. It's easy enough to do. There's some sort of basic bypass mechanism that opens up, and it's just like this horrible stench that just hits you in the face. As something went wrong, some kind of chemical composition, or in some cases just looks like someone's been dead for 10 years in this sort of stasis state, like they're drained in some way. Their skin is dried, like tissue paper bones sticking out. It almost looks like a sarcophagus you're opening up, right? But you dig through and you kind of grab whatever you can grab, ID cards, ID badges, stuff like that might help at some point.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
easy enough.
Close back up.
Okay. All right. So at a certain point, it probably takes maybe 30 minutes or so. You're able to get everybody out. What
do you guys plan to do now? Like, they want out, but at the same time, like, Dr. Reese is insistent that you all make it to data core, download whatever data they have, and kind of bring that. She's insistent on it.
Are there enough of these people that look to be in good enough condition that we would feel comfortable that they could escape on their own, and like the doctor can stay with us while we venture down to the data core?
You could probably. I mean, they all, like, none of them look like they're on the verge of death. Some of them are covered in, like, you could tell they had a violent encounter, but none of them look like they're in great harm. They all look like they've survived without too much damage.
And then, like, give them the steps, like, here's how we got down here. Here's what to avoid. Like, cut down on our number of NPCs that we're going to get killed on our trip to the data core.
Or people who might step in if we take other ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe? Just Verona? Okay.
No, I'm on board.
Nefarious plans.
You are doing that winking again. Stop trying to produce oxygen. I have full control of oxygen in this room. I see you.
Brana winks back to Agaricus.
You can see the silhouette waves back at you.
Oh dear.
And then turns to, like, and flips you a bird. Very sassy AI. Very sassy AI. All right.
Send the majority of them out. Have them take Lucky.
Are you okay with that, Mallory?
Where are we going? What are we doing?
We're to the data center.
Plus, and the doctor are going to the data center.
Mm-hmm.
The other scientist people we are sending out with our instructions on how we got in.
Why?
That way they can escape.
Uh-huh.
And that way we've got less bodies to try and sneak through the facility.
Yeah. I don't think I want to send any of them without any protection because, we'll trigger happy with the oxygen. It's not going to like that if they get hurt.
Well, it said it could lead people out, and it seems to be the interest of what it wants. So
they will actually have the assistance of a very powerful entity within this structure.
I'll just ask the AI. Does that sound like a good plan? You guide the majority of your people out, and the doctor and us go to the data core to retrieve the data she needs.
You can see that the AI puts up, like, they move the screen where their silhouette is, and they put up projected statistics, like what are the probabilities of this group going out without you all escorting them versus them going up without you escorting them. And there's definitely a much lower chance of them getting out alive without the 5 or 6 of you, counting Rika, like, actually escorting them. And it's not an insignificant difference. So
maybe we create a safe harbor at you remember the room where you looked at the cameras room?
Yeah, let's get back to the security room, stash them there.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
Numbers pop up. They're not great. Doesn't seem as though like the AI is particularly thrilled in any plan that involves you separating from what they're meant to protect. Like, you guys know that you would know that the AI's main priority is making sure that these people survive, right? So anything that would put them in undue harm, and they've been keeping them in this, like, stasis chamber for whatever. And you also heard stories that people would come here, would kind of come through here. So piecing sort of 2 and 2 together, like, this is probably not the first time they've tried to get these people extracted. So,
all right, folks, listen up. Okay, you hear that? Oh man!
Oh, it's gone.
It went away.
Yeah,
all right. Away.
You should have heard it, or maybe you heard it when you first came out, right? So, more noise we make, more chance it's gonna come back. All right. More you argue, more chance it's gonna find us. So she's in charge, as I point to the person that we released first. Yeah, Reese. She's in charge. We're here to protect you. Just stay quiet. Stay with us. Got it?
They all look at you like, we weren't arguing, man. We were just kind of standing off to the side. You were talking to the AI. We're good to go. We're ready to go, man. We want the fuck out of here. And you can see like a lot of them are like, they're not all like, some of them look like utility workers, techs and stuff like that. So like they all look pretty terrified. Well, thanks.
Sweet.
Takes an orange out of a character's name.
Sweet. All right.
How much time did we spend traveling down?
Yeah, you guys moved really fast because you found that that elevator shaft, and it was super easy to go down. So I would say maybe less than an hour.
Let's just walk them up to the surface, dump them in like one of them security booths, and then we come back down and get the data.
It wouldn't be a horrible idea, but with the roving madness that we saw, perhaps we just go with safety in numbers and we just take this whole little group of people and we'll be like children playing a soccer game. There's just the whole mass of us to just move along together.
Okay. At least that'll give us a little bit of like ablative shielding.
Ivan says quietly to Verona, Mercedes is not going to...
Oxygen suddenly ticks down again. Okay, so you guys just want to try to lead them to the surface?
I think we're going to the data core with all of them.
Oh, you're going to go to... Okay. Oh, boy. That sounds good. Okay.
Did I hear that right?
I think
so.
That was just my thought of like horrible things can happen on the way up and on the way down. So we just keep everybody together and just do the thing.
I'm good with that.
Yes. You're very smart. I agree with you.
Okay. So with the AI having already like kind of scared away the giant hippopotamus monster, you guys just push out the main door, I assume? Okay. Push out the main door. And with your various Demeter Corp people in tow at this point, they're able to very easily navigate these halls because even though they look horrific, and many of them are like kind of shocked at like the state of things in their hushed voices, like how things have just grown so worse, like how could it have gotten so bad? And then like some of them are like reaching down and touching the floor and are like, what on earth is, what in this? As like you hear that constant thump, 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 like the subway beneath you. But I would say you would be able to get to the data core room without a whole lot of difficulty with them in tow and with like Theta kind of running interference for you. And every now and then you hear, and then like something kind of calls it off in a different direction. And so, yeah, you guys make it to this data core. It is filled with rows of definitely looks like physical servers. It seems to be much like the room you just came from and intact for the most part. Like there's damage, but it looks like whatever the AI was doing to keep the cryo lab like as some kind of oasis from harm, they've extended some of that here as well. And so you see things kind of like light up. You see rows and rows of these deep, long servers and such. And like there's a sigh of relief when Reese kind of comes in and starts kind of working at one of the consoles and things like that. And you can see she's going, and that's Agaricus when you notice that just a couple feet from her, like on that same console, there is one of those little receptacle things that you've seen where you were innervated by Mr. Grainfather there. Okay. So
Mal is just looking at you, Agaricus.
I think we all knew that. Right.
I think Agaricus will just play dumb and just walk up and put his arm in.
Okay.
Oh.
You walk up. She's not even paying attention to you as you do. No one tries to stop you. No one has any idea.
I do.
What Like, I mean, I'm saying none of them. Like, they have no idea whatsoever.
I feel like if I try to talk about it or anything, it's just gonna. Sure. It's better to just do it while there's that.
Yeah.
You take your forearm and you fist the shit out of this fucking console. You just jam it right in there, and all of a sudden, like, she looks over. What did you just do? What? And she, like, her hands come up. You can see the consoles themselves begin to kind of glitch. You can see all this like random code. You see those big kind of glowing golden golden forms that you saw when you and Mallory are inside the silo. And you can see the face of the Grainfather has kind of started to appear, kind of popping up here and there in these different images. What is happening? Oh God, oh goodness. All these klaxons and alarms start going off. And it seems as though things like in the server room are starting to like light up. Other like, it definitely looks like some electrical conduits are kind of overloading here and there. And then you hear the ground just, and you see as the floor itself begins to undulate a bit. And like, what did you do? And like, Dr. Reese comes over towards you, like pulls your arm out and is like grabbing you. And Agaric is like, you don't feel the presence any longer. Like whatever you did, it's gone. And she's just like, what did you do? What did you do? And she keeps
I don't know. I'm terribly sorry. There was a hole, and if it fits, I fist. It's just a thing I do.
That is the thing he does.
That's how we became friends.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So how is everyone reacting to this? Chaos has started to unfold. There's all sorts of consoles that are starting to blare with the people in the Demeanor Corps are running to these different places and trying to figure out what's going on. Reese is shaking. Dr. Reese is shaking. Agaricus. Like Theta 7's voice comes on, but then suddenly and then just like kind of starts to dissipate in some way. You can see it twist and turn. The face of the god of the Grainfather, Agaricus, begins to show, and everything is kind of breaking down at that point. And you can feel the ground again is starting to undulate. It's actually almost like an earthquake is starting to happen. How is everyone acting and reacting at this moment?
Mallory is going to try and make sure that Lucky stays nearby.
What the hell is going on? What is happening? What is happening?
The flow, man.
I think Verona may initially almost be trying to kind of keep a little bit of chaos, because I think we probably knew that like there was something that Agaricus might need to do here. And so I think trying to keep some chaos and kind of keep people unsettled a little bit may kind of allow this to continue a little bit longer. So I think she's probably almost kind of keeping things at a little bit of a pitch where nobody really knows what's going on. Like everyone's just sort of running here, there, and everywhere, and just sort of keeping the chaos extended for a little bit.
They're all like trying to figure out what's going on. They're all trying to, like, can you hear them shout, something's in the system, something's in the system. What the hell is this? Something's in the system. I'm shut out again. And people are just calling to one another as there seems to be something cascading through the system.
And she's just sort of bouncing around like, I don't know where it is. And if she kind of bumps into someone along the way and kind of like throws them off what they're trying to do. So that's kind of how she would be trying to sort of help in this situation, kind of trying to kind of keep them a little bit off kilter.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Keeping chaos.
Okay. At a certain point. Okay. At a certain point, the ground continues to undulate, and you start to see these fissures begin to like rip open, and then crap. Starting to sort of sneak and snake up from below. You can see these dried out roots begin to kind of grow up into the floor of the data core. I would say Ivan and a few others saw some similar stuff that was kind of controlling the spore tornadoes and such that were moving about the Badlands. And you can see the similar thing beginning to just sort of grow up, and it's starting to spread. And you can see one of them snakes out and just kind of stabs right into one of these servers. Another one kind of snakes off in this direction, just stabs into one of the Demeter Corp people that is like working like I don't know what it is. I got you. And you just see like from behind, they get kind of impaled and lifted up off the ground.
Oh my.
At that point, Lucky, nope, and fucking runs the hell out. You can see just bolts back the way he came, and it's just starting to run at full speed out of the room.
Oh my goodness!
Is this
I'm running with him.
Is this the thing with him? What do you say? Cheese it. Do we cheese it now?
It's cheese it time. Yeah.
What are we doing? What is happening?
I really don't know.
This is very unsafe.
Yeah, Mal already left. Mal is gone. Lucky left, and he doesn't feel like he would do a good job of keeping him, so he's just going to make sure he stays alive.
This is in the data room?
Yeah, well, your guys are literally in the data core. This, like, the ground was undulating, no one did anything, and then it erupted out of it. Yeah.
We lost control of the route. I think we need to go if we're gonna survive this.
Yeah,
I do like surviving.
I want to try and just on whatever, if there's like an open terminal of someone that got impaled, to just download whatever I can.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As fast as I can.
Yeah. Give me a tracked outcome roll to see if you could see how, basically it's just to see how much you can get before it's just too late. Because you can tell like something is coursing through the system and you're just trying to grab whatever you can as you lead. So put together whatever you want to put together for this. And just give me a quick track outcome.
I'd say
the better the roll, the better the data.
Analytical
you
brain
got this, Clover.
Investigators, kind of like my data researching, getting into stuff type. Risk taker's luck charm. I think
this is definitely risky.
Yeah,
there are people literally getting impaled by roots coming up from out of the ground.
Oh crap!
I think. Yeah, none of these other tags I think are that applicable. I'll go. Is this daring?
This is very daring. Yes, absolutely.
It feels daring. Yes.
You can totally take daring for this.
I'll take that. And you said it was tracked outcome extras?
Yes. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine.
Oh, gosh. 7.
All right, you made it to 7. All right, you got
7 is a pass. So you are able to spend. You are going to be able to spend your power to kind of. Do you want to spend all of it on just getting good quality data? Like literally, the more power you spend on this, we can just increase the status of the data that you're collecting. Because it could be high quality stuff. Like really, okay. So that means basically we're just going to put a data at like a status.
I got a van to pay for. It's been beat up.
The consequence, however, is that you feel like as you're typing, as you're downloading, and as you're kind of doing whatever you can, you suddenly feel something sharp just cut right through the back of your leg, and you look down and you see this small little offshoot of a root has impaled the back of your calf. So give yourself hobbled. Give yourself is that a 7-year-old? I'm gonna say hobbled 2. As you Ow. As your leg is now just in this horrible shambles. Meanwhile, Mallory, Lucky, you two are running, and as you see him up ahead, you hear, and you look off down one of these like side halls, and you see like a freaking Olympic swimmer just suddenly like with these huge meaty arms like coming over in front of it as it's just barreling down on you, this giant hippopotamus, and it looks to be like just heading into right in the direction of Mallory and Lucky. Inside the server room, we can see all these different roots are popping up. Mm-hmm. Clover just got impaled by one. Who wants to take the what's it called, spotlight at this moment here?
I don't know why I take the spotlight, because is there something I could be doing while Dr. Reese had been shaking me earlier?
I'm going to say we're past that at this point. Like she's at this point, like people are getting stabbed at this point and like something's happening, and she has let you go at this point, and she is back to trying to figure some stuff out. And you can see others much like Mallory and Lucky have fled, but like you can see they're getting lassoed and like yanked down. Some of them are getting kind of slashed and lashed with some of these different roots coming up out of the ground.
So I'm going to say that what Vrana would want to do is she wants to kind of clear the exit of this room. So, kind of as these roots are kind of coming in, there's like a way that we need to get out. And so she wants to kind of use her ritual dagger, ancient fighting techniques, all that kind of stuff to, kind of just be cutting through all of this stuff to kind of make a path that people can go through. So trying to like help them with the exit out of this room.
Okay. Yeah. Put a pool together and give us a roll and do a tracked outcome, and we'll see how good you do.
Okay, and I'm gonna try to pull into Nothing Hurts More Than This, so that like she's going to kind of stand firm and kind of keep doing this, and so she's not going to be deterred by like if she kind of gets a poke by any of these roots or anything as she's doing this.
Yeah.
So I've got a +3. I rolled a 12.
So that's 3. Looks like you've got 3 power to spend. So
yep.
What do you want to do with it?
So I would like to, if I can, create like a status for this, that there's a cleared path. So spend 2 to say that there's a cleared path.
You can spend 2 to create a tag that just says the exit's clear. Yeah. You can just do that.
Yeah.
And then you still have 1 power to play with if you want to do something.
Yep. And so 1 power, I would just sort of like, can I say that these roots have been sort of cut back a little bit? So I just did a little bit of like damage, so to speak, to it.
Yeah. So I can give it. Absolutely. So we'll say that maybe there was like a whole a web of them, like a network of them that was kind of beginning to crisscross in front of the door, and you could see it was like kind of impaling some of those who were trying to flee after Mallory and Lucky left the room, and you just managed to carve through it all, and you see whatever of the longer trunk of the root kind of starts to snake back towards one of the ruptures in the ground as it took a little bit of damage. It doesn't seem to be going away completely, but it's recoiled away from the door, and the door does seem to be open, and you've created that status.
Ron is going to yell to everyone, like, there's a path, run.
Okay. So, go ahead, Adam.
So this thing that's chasing after us, does it clearly have eyes? Can you tell it has eyes?
Yeah, sure. It's got eyes. At the same time, like you don't really know anything about it. It's not.
No. I just want to know if it can see. Like you can look at a lion or a hippo and you can tell that it can see, right? Because you can see its eyes, right? That's all I'm wanting.
Okay.
Okay. And so it's chasing after us, and I'm going to spread my body out so that you see like some of my insides, and you see it all shaking and fluttering. And then I'm going to turn and look at it and try and like afflict it with boils and give it a curse of clumsiness so that it feels like the closer it gets to me, the more dangerous I am. Kind of like, holy shit, I should run away from this thing. And so, I'm going to use my elemental body to do it. I'm transforming specific body parts, giving it the evil eye, afflicting it with boils, and like a curse of clumsiness so that it starts to lose its step, and it's just like feeling completely overwhelmed as I'm holding on to my unlucky tortoise foot.
Okay. It has a scale of 1, and in your current situation, you're off by yourself, so that's going to work against you since it's you and Lucky running away, so that'll be a -1 against you. I think everything else is fine, though.
All right. But I still am suffering from brain fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, all right. Quick?
No, there should be tracks since you're trying to affect it directly.
Okay, tracked attack?
Yeah.
Okay. I got an 8.
All right, that's really good. So you want it, so you're just trying to like kind of, you're giving it like a fear effect maybe? Is that kind of
I want it to feel like, wow, the closer I get to it, the sicker I feel, and like, maybe I should go away.
Yeah, it looks like you got 2 power to play with. So you want to just give it like a fear 2?
Repulsed? Yeah, sure. Fear 2.
Yeah, we can just do that. Just give it like a fear 2, and then okay. And so then consequence-wise, I'm gonna say, did we make the brain fire a status, or did we make it a?
It is a status.
Okay, so let's tick it up one. Let's say like you've exerted yourself, and now the brain has been starting to sort of melt even more as you've been trying to cast. Like whatever is in there, whatever that AI did to you, is kind of lingering at this point. But nonetheless, it does suddenly halt, and it's considering, and that allows like you and Lucky to bypass like this intersection, and you kind of race off, and you do manage to sort of stop it in its tracks, whether it's going to continue towards somebody else or not. But the two of you have bypassed it completely. Okay. Ivan or Clover or Garricus back in the room where the roots are killing everybody and doing all that stuff. What are you guys doing?
Leaving.
Yeah, I would like to run.
So Clover and Ivan taking advantage of the hole that Verana has created. What about you, Garricus?
I would agree with that. I do think we need to get out.
Okay.
So there's us there, and there's still probably the majority of the other people that had come with us too.
Yeah, you can see
most of them already.
She's still like desperately trying to figure out what's happening, and you can definitely see the images, like the familiar flashing images. You know, the Greenfather has gained access to the system. I would say, Garrett, because you know exactly what's happening at this point, right? She is not fully aware of it. Theta 7 is no longer responding to her. She keeps calling out to it. It's not responding. And you can see people left and right. Some of them are leaving with you. Some of the Demeter Corps people are doing the same thing you guys are doing. Some of them are getting they picked off as they go, but she's still there kind of working like completely desperately and without effect on some of these consoles. Yeah.
Thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I will lean on the side of going with the team as they're all heading out.
Okay. Okay.
I hope you didn't wake up Jormungandr.
You shout back, and she just like looks up at you like kind of quizzically, and you see this big root just kind of swing down and just sort of smack against her, and she gets thrown against the console as you run into the room. It's the last you see of her. So all of you are racing at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, I don't want to do a full retreat back up because we've already done that. So I would say everybody treat this almost like a mitigate roll. Give me a mitigate roll for the climb back up and like just the wear and tear of it, the exhaustion of trying to climb back up. Or just give me a quick mitigate roll, and that'll and you can use whatever you think you would be using in kind of a high concept situation to help move, extract, escape, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I would say Verana's probably most of what she's doing is going to be sort of around like medical training, like stabilizing people so that they can move up. And so she's trying to kind of like wrap some things and, kind of just help and, kind of get people in climbing shape. So, if people had gotten, kind of hit by some of these roots and different things like that, just kind of using that side so that they can, access to occult tomes, accelerated regen gel, medical training, that would kind of be what she'd be focusing on.
Sure. Give it a roll.
That is 8 plus 3 is 11.
Nice.
Fantastic. So you can spend all of that power to buy down any of like the nefarious effects, the random root popping out of a wall, or one of these like hyena men cackling and chasing you down. You can buy down any of those effects that might have happened. So I will say Verana gets out basically unscathed. What about the rest of you?
Nice.
I was going to say I've got covered in warding tattoos. Maybe victim of otherworldly forces. This is kind of an otherworldly force that's fighting us.
Yeah, your hobble will probably work against you in this situation, though.
Yeah. Share the luck, because I'm trying to kind of give that to everyone around me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then don't really have any others, I think, that super apply.
Okay. Give it a roll and let's just see how you do.
Yeah. And then forget how to apply the negative. Oh, wait. I think that does it.
Yeah, you just click on it. And I can't remember. One color is good, one color is bad. I forget which is which. I think yellow is bad. Okay. Seven is the success. So you'll be able to buy down. I think you'll be able. Yeah. So we're doing a mitigate roll, so you'll be able to buy down essentially your effects as well. You still come out hobbled, but you don't necessarily suffer anything too terrible on your way back up. Agaricus, did you have something?
I mean, if it's for a resist roll, probably the easiest thing to go with is like I can do the bark armored skin, avoid an injury, and then Ariana can also help with watch my back.
Okay.
For seeing if something comes out of an unexpected place.
I like it.
And then mitigate. Wow.
Oh my
this
goodness.
game loves me.
Suffer the full. That's a snake eyes. Suffer the full consequences. Okay. Oh God. What?
Here we go.
We do?
All right.
I want to do.
Oh darn! One of the roots got in a backpack.
You stole. VR area. She's not real. Like she's like a VR. It's a VR projection. Just maybe stole the backpack. Yeah. I like that. Burn your backpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my whole card then.
What's that?
Or no, does that do I
you can get it back eventually, but it would
I see.
Yeah, so you just burn it, but you would be able to get back eventually. You would probably have to do something in the story to gain that back. So, and it might be sad that you don't have Ariana for a little bit. She might be mad at you.
Yeah.
For leaving her behind. Okay. Ivan, you got something figured out?
Yeah. I am just gonna, I'm gonna leverage left and have him help, kind of like what Agaricus was doing. Have left help keep an eye on things. Leverage my pyromania, my fire, to keep anything from stabbing me. And that's what I got. I got two things. That's what I got.
That seems fair.
Yeah. So I do a mitigate.
Oh, that's a great roll.
I got 13.
6 and 5. Yeah.
That's the other side of Snake
you have 3 power to mitigate, and that's all you needed. So yeah, you get out relatively unscathed. So you, Clover, Verana, relatively unscathed. Garricus, not physically hurt, but maybe notices when you get into the van later that you're missing your magical backpack or whatever it might be. And what about Mallory? How does Mallory do getting on out of here?
Let's see. So he's already pretty worn out and stuff from all of that. So he's going to something he didn't already do, because or is this a different action?
I'm trying to compress the entire climb out of here into one mitigation roll.
All right, so a different action than what I was doing back there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's going to be trying to assist Lucky getting out of here a lot. So he's going to just have to climb up and then kind of elongate his arms and pull Lucky up. So it's going to be pretty tough for him. He's going to be relying on his elemental body and transform specific body parts. And that's pretty much all he's got right now.
Okay.
But he is suffering from brain fire.
Yep.
So doesn't look very good. So here we go.
You got this. We already got the snake eyes out of the way. You're gonna be. Oh my god!
What are you saying?
Oh no!
That's another snake eyes. Yes, that's 2. Okay. What is your brain fire status at? What do you have it up to?
4.
Yeah, let's go up to 5 with it. And you're what effectively happens is maybe somehow along the way you guys get separated, you come back together, you get separated, and by the time you get back to your van, outside, Mallory is actually the one being carried by Lucky. It's not the other way around. It was originally Mallory who's saving Lucky. Now you see Lucky just kind of I don't even know who this guy is, and he is just racing into your van he's so freaking hot. Like, oh my God. And you can see that like Mallory's hair has like burnt away, and you see like this sort of bald dome. You can see the skin around his head. It's just gotten kind of patchworked here and there. And whatever effect that Theta has implanted in him seems to just be getting worse and worse and worse. But the good news is you guys do get back to your van. You guys do get out. You do get lucky. Clover does get some data that you could potentially sell to one of those memory mining companies. But as you look back, you can see the place is kind of slowly beginning to collapse inward upon itself. And all around the Badlands, as you guys try to travel the hell out of here, you can see these storms are like popping up in more ways than you've ever seen before. But we're going to end it there.
Did any of the scientist people make it out?
Sure. Let's say... Hang on,
are we the bad guys?
You guys saved 3 of them. You got 3 meter core people.
Hey,
look at you guys.
More than we intended.
Yeah.
It's up for discussion whether we've made things better or worse here now.
Things are great. I think things are in great shape. But we're going to end it there. And yeah, that'll be that. So you guys did it. Real big heroes. Mallory's bald. Sorry.
I mean, his hair was this length anyway. So like, him shape shifting a lot, it kind of falls out every time he does.
That makes sense.
So.
That definitely.
But now he's got
sense.
burn marks.
Oh, goodness gracious!
It's a cyberpunk. You can get dermal regenerators.
Oh,
yeah. It's not like this is some real world setting. All right, let's do some closing plugs. We'll get on out of here. Adam, we're gonna start with you. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Canon Otter.
We still have Teenage Odyssey. It's up for sale on store.canonotter.com, or if you have like a fondness for drive-through RPG, it's on there too. It's been a little bit popular here in the Kansas City area because I've had to restock it at some of the stores we sell at. So yay. So join the fun, give in to peer pressure, buy Teenage Odyssey. All right. You'll be one of the cool kids. Other than that, we are done with the Boyfriend Monster catalog for our upcoming Skin City. It is now in the hands of Bert, our layout artist, and hopefully we will have it here before the end of June.
Very nice. Awesome. Chuck, you want to add anything to that or talk a little bit about DOK?
Yeah, go buy Teenage Odyssey because I made it. There you go. And then DOK, I don't know if we're playing Wednesday because Dan has been kidnapped by his employer. And then Friday, we should be back for some Cyberpunk. There's been whispers that the party wants to go on a fishing trip. So we'll see if that happens for Cyberpunk. And that's what I got for the week.
Awesome. You got anything to add, Joe?
I don't know what week it is, but some Saturday eventually I'm going to be trying to run Salvage Union.
There you go.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As for us, first thing I'm going to say, Huckleberry RPG, huckleberryrpg.com. Our friend Steven's been making a game. Just dropped a big ass update today. And also, if you're watching this live, check little birdie told me check some Dave Thalmavor channel stuff. We might be seeing a little bit about Huckleberry this week, kind of popping up. So give us some support. Check it out on Drive-Thru-RPG. Lots of awesome stuff just got dropped today with new updates and things. Tons of pages, tons of hostiles and rules for making them and all sorts of cool shit. Then stream-wise, tomorrow night we should be getting back to Barrels and Princesses, and Thursday we should have some more Swords of the Serpentine. Friday is a Dragonbane night, as Aaron will be running us, probably killing us as we go somewhere. I don't know. We're going to through a portal, and we're probably gonna get crushed. And then Saturday we got more Han Cluster as we took this past weekend off, but we're back to it. So if you want to see some optimistic sci-fi Savage Worlds as is about to go up on crowdfunding, come check out what we're doing on Saturday. It's been a lot of fun. All right, let's do a quick raid. Let's do our friends over at Insomnia RPG. They're fun and weird, and I'm going to raid them. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.